Should we clap sync? What time?
Yeah, what time? 10?
seconds?
15? 10?
10.
10, I can do 10.
Got ages.
Nice.
Skibbity boop boop. Oh yeah, I've got to do this actually. I haven't written anything, but I'll just make it up, shall I?
Yeah.
Skibbity dang dang ding ding.
Hello, everybody! Welcome back to Goats. This episode, we have no guests. I know, shock horror. You all thought that's it. They're going to be interviewing people every week. But no, you're stuck with us three white men.
Yeah, white
For
man.
you.
Let's hear it for white man.
We are the scum of the earth, and we know it. And talking about scum of the earth, what scummy deeds have you two been up to this week? How have you been? Oh, actually, no. First, before we talk about our scummy deeds, if you're new around here, make sure that you subscribe to this podcast on your podcast player of choice. Give us a little cheeky 5-star review, even if you think it's shit, just because like it will just like really help us in that. And obviously, you're already listening now, so like might as well just go on, have a go. And definitely make sure that you check out the Goats Instagram at _goats_pod, because you will find the best like year 7 homework created artwork you've ever seen in your life. Now I've done that bit, yes, let's talk about what scummy deed you've been up to this week. Have you had a good week? First, I've had a fantastic week. It was my birthday last week. Had a great birthday. Thank you, everybody. But then all my boys got together on Friday. We were recording this on Sunday. We were just going to the pub for a few beers, whatever, no big deal. And the boys got together and they bought me probably the best present I've ever been bought, which is the exact copy, the exact limited edition, the exact same Game Boy Color Pokemon Pikachu edition that I had from brand new when I was 5 years old. And let me tell you, and Pokemon Crystal to fucking play on it. It is the greatest thing of all time. I can't barely see what I'm doing because the screen's tiny and now I'm blind. But I've bought a big magnifying glass. And so it will make it a lot easier. But thanks again to the boys, because it's fucking sick and I absolutely love it. So I've had a good week.
Hell yeah, dudes.
Oh, yeah.
But what about you
Love
guys?
to hear it.
Last Sunday, so this time last week, I probably just finished getting my first of 2 or maybe 3 sessions on a chest tattoo.
Yes.
And let me tell you, I thought the back of my leg was painful. Chest, that's pinchy. It was fine, but the bit that's like, I don't know what you call it, like your sternum, like the
the bone,
of the chest plate. I thought I was going to see God. It was the most painful thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, the bones are hard. I've only ever had my ass tattooed, and that was really painful. But hearing other people describe their painful bits is like, mine was so painful. I was like laughing. It's something so painful you can't help but kind of laugh.
Johnny Knoxville.
It really hurt. It really hurts, but you're kind of laughing at the same time. But the chest sounds fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was also really hard because you can't talk when you're getting your chest tattooed because you can't move your chest. And I'm a talker, shocker.
Yeah.
So like, do you know what I mean? Like, so just not having that way of like talking my way through it to like take my mind off it, that was something else. But I'm still going to go for round 2 and probably 3. So let's go, baby.
Dude. Hell yeah, dude.
Happy days. Talking about rounds 2 and 3, Vinny. You can cut that if you like. How have you been, Vinny?
It stays.
It stays.
I've been fucking awful, not gonna lie.
You've been fucking, that's for sure.
You've been fucking summit.
Yeah. Nah, I've been really fucking awful. Like, I literally have had. This is like the second time I've had like adult tonsillitis in my life, and I feel like it's so much worse as an adult than it was as a kid. Like I'd be waking up in pain, like so much pain I couldn't sleep, and it would just be intermittent sleeping between just like trying to gulp down my saliva because it won't go down itself with how tight of a fucking throat hole I've got at the time. I mean, it's so bad.
No, Vinny, have you thought about having your tonsils removed? It sounds like it's a recurring problem.
Well, I've had it once. The only other time I had adult tonsillitis was like at uni, so this is like years ago.
Oh,
so, like,
right, okay, yeah.
They're not going to remove it unless you have it multiple times a year, like
because they do remove them, don't they? But I guess that's for people like having it, like every like 6 months or something.
Yeah.
Also, just write down, Vinny, that you're gonna have to cut this, but I just have to tell you this. So I'm recording at my dad's house, and this is my stepsister's old bedroom, and I'm using her desk, and I just picked this up. I was like, what's that? That's a weird looking used plaster.
Little flower thing.
That obviously goes on a nipple. That's a nipple cover. So we can just,
You reckon?
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
It looks like a post-it note.
No, it's not. It's a plaster and it's got a bit, it's all sticky and then there's a soft bit where your nipple would go.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Oh, you can get round plasters in general though, right? Can't you?
Yeah, but not
Makes it look like a flower.
Not flower tit shaped.
Yeah, but it's for kids. Like a little girl. It's like, oh, flowers.
That's a tit plaster. Trust me, bro.
What's she doing with tip plasters?
I don't know. She's probably wearing a dress where you don't want things to come out, so you just tit plaster just to be safe.
Well, she's got an OnlyFans.
Oh.
I'll have a look.
Right,
I'll check it out. I'll just make sure
that.
it's safe enough, and I'll let you know.
Okay, let's just cut all of that and move on.
But Vinny, you got a job though.
Yeah. I
Good
got a job.
news. Vinny is employed, not
Yeah.
just by goats.
Finally, just not a layabout bum for once in my life.
You're not a full-time amateur podcast for the rest of your life.
Yeah, thank God, because the Patreon money ain't paying the bills. I'll tell you what. But they can. If you subscribe to Patreon.
Mate, that's why you're a professional amateur podcaster, mate.
That's it. That's why you were doing this shit full time.
Yeah, well, it's just a part-time job while I look for the real juicy software shit. Like, I
The
have
real
time
money,
for that.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Sweet.
Should
Unless
we
anyone
crack
else has
on?
got any crazy stories, yeah, let's crack on, shall we?
Sure thing.
I think
So-
we should, yeah.
This week, if you haven't already guessed by reading the title, we haven't done one of these for a while. This is Goat Grab Bag 4, The Return. And yes, at 5, we're going to stop numbering them and just start calling them really shitty, weird sequel names like Grab Bag Resurrection and Grab Bag X, Grab Bag Goes to Space, etc.
Grab bag and the Furious. The grab
Allah,
of the
like-
Furious. Two
Yeah,
grabs and
exactly.
Furious.
At
No,
some point,
I was-
we'll just go straight back to just grab bag. We'll do a reboot.
Also,
Yeah.
Make it
also,
very confusing.
For grab bag
Gary
8,
G Grab Bag.
for grab bag 8, we'll just call it GR8 and it'll be great.
Yeah, good idea. Let's write these down. But we are doing a grab bag this week, and we've got 3 pretty good topics.
Mm-hmm.
We have
have indeed.
up for grabs. What did we call these? What were these? These were called a name, weren't they? These like mini goats, pygmy goats.
Pygmy
Pygmy
goats.
goats.
We have 3 pygmy goats up for grabs. We have the goat urban legend. Different to Playground Myth, which I know we've already covered on a grab bag, but just make that distinction in your mind, right? They're totally different
Yeah,
things, okay? We
very
haven't run out of
different,
ideas,
very
right?
different,
They
very
are
different.
actually different, okay? Right? Get off us. Get off our back, all right? The Goat board game and the Goat live TV fail, which I know has been teased before in this podcast, but we're doing it for real. But first, we're going to be doing Urban Legend, which is going to be Seb versus Vinny.
Can I go first?
And
Sorry.
you can
Carry on.
I feel like you have to put your "Can I go first" in after the starting whistle, which is
yeah,
like
sorry.
me talking about it.
Yeah, sorry.
Now, the term urban legend first appeared in print in 1968, although I'm pretty sure that telling specific folklore stories dates back probably like a little bit earlier, than 1968. I reckon maybe like a couple of years earlier.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
I think 1968 is
I
when
think,
it
I
really
think
became
specifically
real.
1968 is when oral storytelling specifically really took off.
Yeah, maybe you're
'Cause I
right.
think-
Yeah,
I think before
don't-
then, people just mostly wrote stuff down.
Yeah, I think that's probably correct.
Think about it.
Yeah, think about it. But urban legends, what are they? They are stories, myths, or legends.
Sweet dude.
But and they are completely false, but they always circulate as the truth. They are often supernatural and specific to a place or a spooky character, such as the legend of the hairy hand on Dartmoor or Bloody Mary. Or sometimes they're just bullshit little facts that everyone believes, like how it, takes 7 years for like gum to digest if you swallow it. Total nonsense. Or how eating an apple tree will fucking grow an apple like out of your ass or something. Like you just get like an apple coming out. Total nonsense,
Never
but
heard
everyone
that.
believes it.
Why all those leaves coming out your arse, Michael?
Yeah, I've been eating apple seeds, mate. But which urban legend is the best? The spookiest, the most ridiculous, or the hardest to trace its origins? Well, it's over to these two little rodents to tell me. So let's go.
Can I go
Who's going
first?
first? Yes.
Yeah,
Yay! Before I start, I just want to say, like, because as a kid, I fucking loved urban legends. Like, they're basically almost like creepypastas, but like real and not on the internet for the most part.
Yeah.
Well, they're not real, but you think they could be real, and that's why they're so like creepy and mysterious. But do you guys remember ever watching a film about urban legends? It was a horror film. It's like a slasher from like the 90s or early 2000s.
Yes.
And it was like all about urban legends, and like there were loads of different urban legends happening within the film, and like the killer killed people with the urban legends, like the whole like the like babysitter thing with like he's in the house, the call is coming from in the house, like that sort of thing. Or the guy who goes to the truck, the fuel stop, and the guy comes out and he's got the stammer, and like he's really creepy, and so the guy just drives off, but it turns out he's actually trying to say like there's someone in the back of your car, and then the murder's in the back of the car, all that stuff.
Oh, well, there is a newer movie about that, Cabin in the Woods. Have you seen that?
That's not really urban legends. That's
but it does.
That's
horror movie
films.
tropes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I suppose it's like horror movie tropes.
But I remember really liking that film as a kid. It probably sucked. It's probably very average, but like being into urban legends at that time and watching that film was like holy shit, this is a movie for me. And
for me, yeah.
Hang on, I should probably get the name of it up as well. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
I just want to say at this little intermission that anyone listening, you hear the sounds of a television in the background. It's because I'm staying with my dad and his girlfriend, and they're both a bit deaf.
What are they watching?
I don't know, but it's blaringly loud. So just if you might not, the mic should suppress it, but if you just hear the sound of planet Earth,
Hardcore porn,
or hardcore pornography, just
ignore it.
Just tune
It's no
out.
bother. Yeah.
But yeah, the film was actually just called Urban Legend. So yeah.
Nice.
And
yeah, I could have gathered that.
Yeah, it had Jared Leto in as well. I don't remember that, but I didn't think I knew Jared Leto at the time. Yeah, Giroud's Sandstorm. But yeah, does anyone want to time me? It's like I'm definitely going to be 5 minutes. Like it's
No,
just go.
Yeah. Okay,
I see.
so each year, you will eat an average of 8 spiders in your sleep. That's something that almost everyone has been told at least once in their life. Thankfully, it is obviously a complete myth, but it's definitely something that sounds like it could be true, macabre as it is.
Yeah. It's something that everybody believed, like circulated as fact. Did you know?
Yeah. In fact, I have a very, very particular memory of going to your house, Mork, as a kid, and you and your 2 sisters came up to me, and you guys were so excited to tell me that apparently the 8 spiders thing was actually a lie. And I was like, yeah, cool. I don't care.
You were
But you
so
guys
scared
are
of spiders. We were like, fucking Vinny's going to be so relieved.
I've been like, terrified, not sleeping for weeks.
For your whole life. Like,
It's like sellotaping at my mouth before I go to sleep.
They're like, oh, they're going to come in my ears. No, just sellotape those as well. Your nose, your arsehole.
I just fucking suffocate and die. Yeah. When you really think about it, why would it be true in the first place?
Yeah.
Why on earth would a spider want to crawl inside of a big, wet, windy hole that's attached to a giant creature? Like, it doesn't really make sense when you think about it.
And how would you not notice eating 8 spiders in your sleep? It's the in your sleep. Like, you don't even
choke on
wake
it.
up. You just eat it. Like, what? It just so it crawls down. It crawls all the way down your like
It just keep
digestive
going,
tract
I guess. And then
into your stomach acid until it's like, oh shit, and just like burns to death, and you don't even realize.
But yeah, spiders are not known for liking the wet or the windy, so like...
Have you
Yeah.
not heard about Incy Wincy Spider, mate?
Yeah.
Like, step 1, the rain comes down, mate.
Yeah.
You'd be gone. There's no spiders going in your mouth.
No,
Incy
exactly.
Wincy told us that years ago. We just had
Yeah.
to listen.
So why do people believe it so readily? It's probably because of the fact that, well, the obvious, it happens in your sleep when you're completely unconscious. So who knows what goes on in those 6 to 9 hours? But it also might help the urban legend's believability that it's spiders and not just bugs we're talking about. As arachnophobia, the fear of spiders, is one of the most widespread fears within humanity. So the idea of swallowing spiders is just so disgusting that when you're told the quote-unquote fact, you're kind of just too disgusted to think about it logically. Perhaps
Yeah.
a similar reason as to why fairly obviously fake ghost stories still spook quite logical people. It's because it's so creepy that you kind of get taken away by it and don't think about it logically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't do any research to that. That's completely just my top of my head.
I think that's probably,
Your
probably
opinion.
quite true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon that's true.
It sounds
I don't
true.
like spiders. I don't mind small spiders, but big spiders. And there's something about the way they like, you know, when spiders like come out of a really small hole and it's like,
Yeah.
how's all these legs and like body coming out of
They're
such a tiny
creepy.
hole?
They're creepy
It's that
fuckers.
specific like bleh moment where they like come out
I
of
know
a
what you
hole.
mean.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like bleh, and they like
Like
and they're
their
like
little
legs
legs reaching.
and they like
Yeah.
come out like this way. There's something that just gives me the heebie-jeebies. I'm not like scared of them. Like I'll pick them up and chuck them outside or whatever. But
They're creepy.
I'm not like
I don't want them
I'm
in my
not-
house, really.
no, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really want to wake up with one like crawling all over your face.
No.
But weirdly, I don't find tarantulas that bad. It's the one with the ones with the small legs. Like the
Yeah,
best
yeah.
Faster as
tarantulas
well.
I find because- but also, there's something about a tarantula because it's like big and furry.
It's
It
almost,
almost
cute.
it's like the size of like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
mouse or something. It's like not
Yeah.
creepy anymore.
Yeah,
Whereas it's
I
like
get what you mean.
the spindly ones freak me the most out.
Yeah, and tarantulas, like, if they fall from like if they fall like a height of 3 feet, they'll probably fucking just explode. They'll just die. Like,
Yeah, they
they,
just
Yeah.
die.
they are very easy to kill.
They're very fragile, yeah.
But yeah, the 8 spiders myth. Where did it come from? Well, actually, there's a really great video on YouTube by the YouTuber Lemmy Know, where he tries to investigate the origins of this 8 spiders a year myth. He found that the first mention of the myth was from the reputable site Snopes, which, if you don't know, is more or less the de facto online myth-busting source. In the Snopes article, they write how the 8 spiders myth was sourced from a magazine article from 1993's PC Professional. In said article, columnist Lisa Birgit Holst writes a list of fake facts which were circulating emails at the time. And her quote-unquote fact about the 8 spiders was amongst the list, and even had a cited reference which dated back to a 1954 book on insect folklore.
Really?
Yeah.
God, it goes back further than you'd think.
Damn, that's really old. Yeah, I thought it was just like an internet thing.
Yeah, exactly. And the article's basically like it was about like, oh, these are all these fake facts and why it's so funny how everyone's so ready to believe them just because they saw it on the internet, essentially. And he says that he found many websites with the exact same story as the Snopes article, so they probably just lifted it from there. The problem was, nobody has ever been able to find a magazine with the name PC Professional from 1993, nor does the name Lisa Birgit Holst ever come up elsewhere online. So now we have a mystery underneath this urban legend.
Damn, it's like a double mystery.
So long story short... Sorry, Sebek, were you going to say something?
Oh, no, I was just going to say it definitely isn't some like tired, underpaid journalist just creating some bollocks source to finally finish up an article. Like, oh, fucking Linda Holst, she'll fucking do. PC
She'll do,
Professional,
yeah.
that sounds like a thing. Off your fucking pot.
Yeah. Look, boss, I done it. Can I go home?
Like, no one checks sources. We'll be fine. Who can?
Yeah.
And now, 3 decades later, Vinny's like, hang on a
Hang on a
second.
minute. The fuck is all this about?
Imagine that one journalist is like, shit.
I've been found. But yeah, long story short, the YouTuber ended up finding the actual original 1954 book on insect folklore, but found absolutely no mention of some 8 spiders in your sleep myth. In fact, spiders aren't even insects, they're arachnids, so why would they even be in a book about insects in the first place?
Yeah. Shit.
After
That's
even
a whole
more,
other layer.
Yeah, after even more extensive research into the PC Professional article and its author, he just couldn't find anything, and he like did a hideous amount of research. Like, well, that's when he realized that the name Lisa Birgit Holst is actually an anagram. And fucking get this, for this is a big troll, and it genuinely is.
Oh my god. No.
So good.
What the fuck?
So what we have is a Snopes article debunking the 8 spiders myth, using a reference to a fake article about how you shouldn't believe everything you read online, which is then lifted by hundreds of other websites as proof to debunk the same myth.
Which is also fake under the fake name. This is a massive troll.
And like everyone sources of that as like, this is the reason why the myth came out in the first place. Like everyone does. And it's complete bollocks.
That's genius. That's
So have we? Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
but like bare bones. Have we? So we still haven't debunked the 8 spiders in your sleep thing, technically.
Oh well, spider experts been like, yeah, obviously it's not real.
It's bullshit.
Yeah,
But they can't find that original thing. Yeah.
but there's the actual
The Snopes article is the original thing, I guess.
yeah.
Is it?
That's
Right,
the original. That's the original debunking.
But what was
Yeah.
the original circulation of the like? This
Well,
is
it's
Nobody
probably
knows.
just one of, it probably is just
Nobody
one of those
knows,
weird
yeah.
email things that just used to go
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
someone, maybe someone just randomly sent it as an email. Like they were just like, "Oh, this sounds
just went
real."
round
I'm just
and
gonna,
round
and
and
then
round.
it spread like wildfire from there. Like who knows the
Do you
actual
think there is someone out there who's like, I'm the guy?
Yeah, or maybe
He's
died.
the yeah.
Or maybe it's like the atomic bomb. There was a few people working on it, all coming to the same idea.
together independently.
To nuke the idea that you eat spiders in your sleep, right?
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah,
that was
that's
interesting.
That's
my urban
it.
legend.
Damn. I gotta say, that urban legend got a lot of legs.
That's
That's a fucking good one. That's a fucking good one.
Beautiful. 8 of them.
It's a good one. I know. I love that one because it's one of those that like everybody believed. Like we all concrete kind of believed it, and then
Yeah.
But the backstory of but come on, guys, it's obviously not true. Look, here's this article that debunks it, and everyone go, oh
That's
yeah,
even better.
obviously, and citing that, and then they're like, It's a false article in the first place doing the debunking.
That whole like anagram, like I still don't know if it's
Yeah.
like a complete coincidence and they just picked out some random
Can't be
name,
a complete coincidence,
or
can
whether
it?
that was
No,
all perfectly
no,
planned by
that's-
someone who was
yeah.
just like, I'm
This
just gonna
is
write
a
complete
massive
bullshit.
troll. That can't be a coincidence.
Yeah,
Unless
it's so
was the
good.
term troll around at that time, it must have been.
Well, this
Yeah, it must have been.
I don't know when the Snopes article was, but it's not from 1993. It would have been from more
Okay.
recent.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Interesting.
crazy. I absolutely love that. That's gonna be hard to beat. Seb's gonna have to bring his fucking A game for
But the
that, because
thing
that is like
I
an absolutely legendary urban legend.
think I can beat it. That's the thing.
Shit.
Well, let's find out, because it's gonna be tough.
Have we got,
Am
like,
I ready to go?
Have we got a 20-minute?
Yeah, you can go if you want.
So yeah, maybe just get your armchairs out because this one could take a while. No, I'm
Yeah,
joking.
5 minutes. I'm
keep it
timing
brief.
you. 5,
4,
4,
3.
Okay. No, here's the thing about urban legends, right? They're very specific. Like one man's urban legend is another man's conspiracy theory, is another man's playground rumor. Like it's quite an abstract term, and I didn't want to just pick like, here's just a thing. Like I don't know, like Elvis dying on the toilet. I didn't know this. Luce told me this today. Elvis didn't die on the toilet. Never knew that. He died in his bathroom, but his bathroom was like the size of a normal person's house.
Yeah,
Like, he just
died in
died
the
in there. Well, he didn't die having a shit. Like no, that's not true.
Yeah, no, that's totally false. Yeah.
Like the Earth being round. Like we've all heard this stuff. But
These lies.
it's not true, and we don't want to. I didn't want to just pick something silly like that. So I want to talk about an urban legend that means something to me personally, and that means I think something to both of you guys as well.
Okay.
Specifically you, Mork. Actually, I know that you're big. Me and you've spoken about this urban legend before. So it's one of those ones that's just like so exciting and so grotesque and so like captivating. You kind of can't help believe it. But anyway, I actually first heard this rumor from my stepbrother's mate who goes to a different school. And
Yeah.
needless to say, I was shaken to the core because it turned out I had diced with death without even knowing it. So
Right.
before we get into this, you need some context, which is that last year, me and Michael, we went
Oh,
on
for
holiday.
fuck's sake!
We
No.
went on holiday to a holiday park called Butlins in Minehead. And when we were there, obviously, we went on the water slides. Now,
Yeah.
at Butlins, there's 3 slides. There's the Blue Python, which is the easiest slide. But needless to say, it's still pretty intense. No under 6 is allowed. It's not for the faint-hearted. But that's just a warm-up. Because next is the Twister, which is like one of those giant bowls that you put 2p's in for like charity back in the day, and you'd watch your 2p go round.
In the
there.
supermarket.
And that thing is insane. Like you can feel the G's pulling. As
Oh
you go
yeah,
round
yeah.
there. And then there's the last one, and this one's fucked up, mate. It's the Purple Power Cannon, and this shit is for professional sliders only. This slide isn't for fun, okay? Because it's got a timing trap at the top and bottom, right? And needless to say as well, me and Michael, we saw this. It calculates your time. We got into some friendly competition, and by the end of the week, we're pretty mental. We were putting down some pretty rapid times. We both put down at least sub 9 on the Purple Power Cannon, and that's pretty dramatic stuff.
That's
anyway,
faster
look,
than Usain Bolt runs 100 meters.
and actually, what's mad is the Purple Power Cannon is actually 200 meters, so you're going really quick. Look, but anyway, look, this is where things get really mental because I came back, right, and I'm speaking to my stepbrother and his mate, right, because his mate's round, right, and I'm talking about going sub 9 on the Purple Power Cannon, and he's like, look, mate, my dad used to go to Butlins back in the day, and he told me some shit. So he told me, right, that actually back in the day, Butlins wasn't a holiday park. It was actually a NASA testing facility, right? Back in the day, they didn't use water on the slides. They actually used industrial lube, right? And what will happen is, like, step 1, right? They put them down the Python just to get them warmed up, right? And then they put them around the Twister. And obviously, because they're all lubed up, if they can go round without passing out because of the G-forces, they get to have a go on a rocket, right?
Yeah.
So they're doing that, and then there's the
Sorry, but why would
Then there's-
NASA put their fucking base in Minehead of all places?
because you don't want people to find it. You know, you can't put it in Area 51.
Put it in the
everyone's-
biggest shithole in England. No one knows
Exactly.
there.
If you put it in like Area 51, everyone's going to come knocking after and asking for a go on the rockets. But
Not like the vast deserts of like Nevada, but a fucking Minehead and like a tiny little
Exactly.
seaside town.
you got to think outside the box. Anyway, look, you're getting caught up here on the semantics.
Sorry, Gary. Yeah.
Because the real test was the purple power cannon, because that actually was designed, and they never actually did this, but they were testing astronauts re-entering the atmosphere only in their spacesuits, right? And they would lube up the purple power cannon, right? And people were going down. I shit you not, right? Bear in mind, me and Michael, right? We're pretty professional guys. We're going down sub 9. They're going down sub 4, right? Sub 4.
No fucking
okay?
way. I don't believe
Anyway,
it.
so look, my stepbrother's dad's mate, no, my stepbrother's mate's dad, right? He was saying back in the day when he was there, he found where they kept all the lube, right? And when it was a NASA testing facility, and he was then trying to impress this girl, right? And so he lubed up the purple power cannon, right? And he put 6 big rocks in his pockets. He went down, and this isn't a joke, right? He went down sub 3, right? But here's where things get pretty dark, because he hit the water at the bottom so hard, it cut 5 inches off his height for the rest of his life. It compressed his spine, right? And this is really sad, because actually at the time, he was playing for Burnley's under-19s, and they let him go because he couldn't get up for corners anymore. Right, but there is a silver lining, because actually the girl he was trying to impress was my stepbrother's mate's mum, and she stayed with him even though he got compressed by 5 inches.
Right.
It's heartwarming.
And I just think that as an idea, it just holistically, that's everything you need for an urban legend. We can all
But
relate to it.
That's
It's
not true.
plausible. Well, no, it is true, I think, but I've got no proof.
Right.
If it's true, it's not an urban legend.
How tall's your like stepbrother's mate's dad?
Well, he's about 5'2" now, but apparently
he's
he used to
shrinking.
be.
Did he
Well,
look like
that's
he
the
used to be taller?
Well, that's the thing is he's kind of quite like, he looks quite squat, if you know what I mean, and like
He looks
he
shrunken.
just looks a
Stocky.
bit shrunken. He looks like he used to be sort of a more Wout Weghurst looking fella, but he's just been compressed.
He's been squashed.
He looked at 5'8".
It's really tragic. It's actually really tragic.
Oh my
He
god.
looks like a 5'8" person, but 5'2". What does that mean?
Like imagine
No,
like,
is that-
that's the thing. But this is why it's because his mates call him the gorilla, because his arms and his legs are like too big for his body. Because his arms drag on the floor because he's not tall enough.
Oh my fucking god. Are you done, Sam?
Yeah, no, I'm done, man.
I can't believe you've taken the joke we were making at the top of the slides at Butlins and turned it into a fucking ghost shout. That's so funny. Billy, when we were sat at the top of the thing, Seb's just going like, oh yeah, my mate's brother went down here with rocks once and he did sub 8, but his head cut off. And we were just making up all these little mini scenarios like this. Oh yeah, well, my dad's cousin's boyfriend once, he went down backwards and it cut his arm off or some shit. Like, oh, we're just doing all these things.
That's so funny.
And you've turned that into the Go Urban Legend, Seb. That's brilliant. I
Exactly.
never thought I'd see the day we get to talk about the Butlins water slides on this show.
It was one of the finest. My favourite bit was seeing the little kids' faces, because we'd be like, yeah, so my dad's cousin went down it, right? But he went round the wrong way, and one of his legs is shorter than the other for the rest of his life. And then there's just some kid like,
A guy.
Yeah, but if you hit the water head first when you go down through the hole, like you'll just break your back. You'll be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life, and they don't let wheelchair users down slides, so don't get another go.
That's the worst part of it all. Don't get another go.
If you could get another go, you could try and go feet first to stretch yourself back out again. But right.
Fucking
As far
hell.
as crowning the GOAT urban legend goes, I've either got one of the most believed and ridiculous backstories urban legends of all time, or My
Well,
mate's
Vinny's thinking
dad's
about
brother's cousin went down a slide once, and he's fucking short now, mate. At Butlins.
Fucking Butlins.
I want to give Seb. I want to give you massive props because that was brilliant. I absolutely love that you managed to do that. So you get a big well done sticker from me. But the goat's got to be the spiders. The spiders is fucking sick. I had never actually thought about that being an urban legend, but it is, and it is easily the goat. Like I couldn't pick a better answer myself.
Sweet. Thank you.
Easily the goat.
Yeah, that is definitely that's a great shout. I literally,
yeah, it's a great shout.
That's the perfect urban legend. That is exactly.
That's the shout because everyone believed it, and the funny thing about when it comes out that is not true, but all the sources are a fucking massive troll is even better. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, that's the backstory.
That's the funniest
so,
thing.
Like wild as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess it's time for me to take over DJing this show now, because you know, hi, my name's Seb, and I fucking love board games. And this week, one of our pygmies is the greatest board game of all time. Now, board games are like probably one of the earliest forms of entertainment. I can't say that for sure, but you've got to imagine you've got a rock and some stones, and you just start fucking playing Snakes and Ladders or whatever. For instance,
oh yeah,
I know for a fact there's a game called Haffle Taffle that they've been playing in Scandinavia for like fucking thousands of years. I reckon they was probably playing Cluedo in ancient Egypt. It's amazing, but
could have been
you wouldn't know that I'd forgotten how to prepare a bit for this. So here's the thing: there's a lot of board games around, but which is the best? Now we did think about just playing a game of, well, Snakes and Ladders to sort it out, but that doesn't really seem that scientific. So I've actually asked these two legends to tell me. I'm still doing the voice from the stupid story.
I know.
To tell me what is the best board game of all time.
I'll go first, shall I?
Mark, you go first because Vinny went first last time.
Yeah, thanks, Seb. Thanks, Seb, for the probably the best introduction we've ever had to a segment on this show, I reckon.
Thank you.
Now, board games. I fucking love board games. People hate them. My missus, she fucking hates them. She refuses to play board games with me. But I love a good board game. Everyone loves a board game. You know, get some of the lads around, get your family around, whatever. Kick out a good board game. And when you think about the greatest board games, you always go to Monopoly. And yes, it's good. It's iconic. And there's a million fucking versions of it. You've got Lord of the Rings Monopoly, Simpsons Monopoly, fucking Breaking Bad Monopoly. You've even got SpongeBob SquarePants Meme Edition Monopoly. And
wow.
That's just it. Yeah, really. Yeah, really.
Straws.
But that's the point. Like, Monopoly has been done to death. Like, and to be honest, it's not even that good of a game either. Like, it's all right.
No one plays the right rules. Either.
No one plays the right rules. They just make it up. Yeah, it's all right, but it's kind of, you just go round in a square, I suppose, not a circle, but you're just going round and round and round, collect a bit of money, give a bit of money to them, collect a bit of money, give a bit of money. It's not the GOAT. It's time to end the monopoly that is Monopoly on the board game industry.
Nice.
So then I thought, well, it's got to be a board game that I've played. And what's the most fun board game that I've played? Because let's forget about all the other shit. This board game's been around for ages and that. Or this board game's got like the most complicated rules and that. This board game's the GOAT because, like, do you know what I mean? Like, everybody's played it and that. What's the most fun one that I've played? And it didn't take me long to think about what that is. So let me just pitch this to you. Guys, do you want to play a board game?
Yeah.
Well, how about, I've got a surprise for you. How about a game of global domination?
Oh, it's Risk.
Armies at war and destroying your enemies. How does that fucking sound?
Sounds sick.
Sounds terrible. Definitely not the greatest board game ever.
Shut up, you mug. You love this game.
Yeah, I love Risk.
It's fucking great, right? Well, That's what Risk is all about. Yeah, boy. Risk, the board game. And it's absolutely sick, yo. Like, without trying to go too deep
Hello,
into
kids.
all the rules and shit. Huh?
That was like, it's absolutely sick, yo.
It is sick, yo.
Fellow kid.
Because that's what I wrote.
You sound like a high school teacher trying to relate to disadvantaged children.
Yeah,
Backwards
but kids
cat.
nowadays, they don't give a shit about board games, do they? They just want to like watch TikTok and
Right,
fucking
you'd walk
all
in and be
this
like,
shit.
"Look,
We got to
I'm
get
gonna-
back into it.
I'm going to say two phrases. One of them is Shakespeare. The other is Tupac. Can you guess the difference? That's you.
There isn't a difference. Is
What?
that a trick question?
Sorry, they didn't
I
really
don't
work.
understand. I don't
Cut all of this.
understand.
Cut all of this. Editor, cut all of this.
So, without going too deep into all the rules and all that shit and how you play, Risk is actually fairly simple, even though it seems complicated. Like, you got a big board, there's a lot of pieces, you got dice and cards and shit, and you attack and defend, and you're thinking, oh god, this is going to be boring, right? I can't be bothered to learn it. But it's really simple. The board represents the world map, unless you've got Lord of the Rings Risk, in which case it's fucking Middle Earth and you're real G. But anyway, it's normally just got the world map, right? And the world map is broken up into 42 territories across all the continents. So not every single country. You've got like West Africa, East Africa. It's all 42 different segments. And up to 4 players can play. But it's got to be a minimum of 2 players. And even if there's 2 players, technically there's still 4 because you still place 4 armies. And there'll be 2 neutral armies that are controlled by a player. All right? And what you do, you start out, you place all your army, you get given a certain amount of pieces, which are your army. You've 3 different types of pieces: a little man, a little cannon, and a little horse. A man equals 1 of your army, a cannon is 10 of your army, and a horse is 5 of your army, I think.
Yeah.
So you distribute your little army about all the territories that you have assigned to you. And eventually, after the little first bit, every single territory on the board will have either one of your guys on it, one of your enemies' guys on it, and potentially 2 neutral guys on it, or all 4 of your armies are going to be spread out across the board. Then you fucking start playing. And each round, every player gets to attack, move his men, or place new armies down. So you get different amounts of army like added to your pot depending on certain different things, and each turn you start your turn by adding new armies to your thing. So you're building up all your men and you're getting ready to fucking assault the whole world, because the aim of Risk, the aim of the game, is to take over the entire planet. Now, I don't know of a board game where the aim of the game is to take over the entire planet and be the global dominator. And neither can they, which is why it's going to be the GOAT. But anyway, so you build up your army, you can then attack, and you can attack as much as you want. So once you've got your army built up, you can attack your mate, or you can attack the neutral armies, destroy them, and then take over their territories, and they become your territories, and you can move in. So you just kind of move around every turn, and then they attack you, and you attack them. And that's basically it. That's all Risk is. It's just attacking, defending, moving your armies, and building it up. Which is fun, but why is it so much fun? Well, it goes on for quite a long time, but not a really, really long time. It's not like 7 hours worth of board gaming, because that would be boring. And it also doesn't last like 30 minutes. It lasts the perfect amount of time to kind of keep you and your mates engaged in the amount of fighting and action that's going on. And the other fun is building up your army, seeing your army grow from just a few measly little soldiers into the giant army of men, horses, and cannons that are just trying to fucking steamroll through North America and annihilate everything in their path. It's so satisfying having like 5 cannons and 10 horses just absolutely dominating the entire board. Or you might find yourself on the back foot, cornered in Australia, trying your hardest just to survive and just to fight your way back out of Australia and just get survive one more turn so you can add a couple more men to your army and attack back and try and get out and eventually build up a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more until eventually you are now dominating the world from a losing position. When your back's against the wall, that's when the real fucking Risk players come out. And that's why I think it's the GOAT.
See, I really like
It's just silence.
Stunned.
It's
No,
intense,
sorry, I think-
it's fun, and it's different. The thing is, the game is different every single time.
You didn't mention like the name of the board game. It's Risk. Like that's why it's fun. It's because it's like
Yeah, that's
it's
what I
all
mean.
dice
You're
rolls.
taking risks.
It's like you
take
could
a
put
risk
you could
whether
put
to
loads
attack or
you could
defend.
put loads of people in one place to defend it, but like there's no certainty you're going to defend it even with all. these people.
That's what I was trying to say.
It's
yeah.
like gambling. That's why gambling is very fun to a lot of people. Is there's risk. You could always just lose it all. You could always gain everything. That's why.
That's what I mean. It's the risk of like, do I attack with all my people and just steamroll everyone, or do I kind of sit back, defend, but then I'm not going to build up as many people as quickly, so they're going to grow exponentially while I'm going to be small and in the corner.
Everything
but then
you do
is
at
that the
risk.
right? Yeah, is that the right thing to do? Because if I do just bide my time and wait, maybe they'll kind of kill each other off, and then I'll be able to attack. But maybe they don't kill each other off, and they get stronger, and I'm fucked. Yeah, every single move that you make is kind of a calculated risk, and even with because it's when you attack, you just roll a dice, the highest number wins. That's always just a risk as well, because just by attacking someone, you're taking a risk. You're giving your luck to the dice gods, aren't you? You're just rolling a dice and seeing what happens. You might have the biggest army in the world and lose every single roll in a row and just get absolutely annihilated.
Yeah.
my
But
favorite thing about
it's
Risk.
intense, it's fun, and it's different every single time. Like, it's so much fun.
My favorite thing about Risk, I think, is it's perfectly simple. Like, it's just simple enough. Like, there's no like treaty system. The treaties are just you and your mates being like, should we just back off each other for a minute? And that creates the most visceral hate and the most visceral anguish because it's
'cause
real.
no, fuck you.
Like, you say to your mate, like, please just give me one round and I'll give you some shit, or like I won't attack you for a minute and we'll both attack that guy.
Mhm.
And then your mate's like, yeah, all right, yeah, sure, yeah. And then he fucking attacks you anyway, and you're like,
Yeah. That's
like
what I
it
would do.
really gets you.
Double cross
Like, it's
everyone,
like-
yeah.
It's proper because it's so simple. It's like it is one of the simplest ball games. It looks very complex.
It's not,
but
yeah, that's what I
really
mean.
not.
It looks really complicated, but anyone can play it. And I love that.
Very
Like, I have
simple, yeah.
memories of like saying to my mates, like, yo, let's just team up against like yellow, come on. And then managing to convince them to move all their army like through Africa to Europe to attack yellow. And then I'm just like, ha, fuck you, attack them from behind, take all their land. Like, it does just make enemies of each
It's
other. like I
great.
said.
It
So-
turns people into assholes.
so
and it's,
intense.
yeah, it is. It's a fantastic simulator in a very basic way of genuine world politics, of just backstabbing and nonsense, and nothing really means anything,
Nonsense.
and human life is worthless. And it's just like,
No nonsense.
yeah, it's great.
So what's up,
No,
sir?
not nonsense. I didn't say nonsense. I said nonsense.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, look, I love Risk. I think Risk's a great game.
The goat? Is it the goat?
Well, I don't know because I don't know what Vinny's picked yet. If I was going to
Well-
pick, just to throw my hat into the ring, obviously it doesn't matter, but I probably would have picked Settlers of Catan. I think Catan's a great game, but I
Never
didn't
heard
pick
of it.
that.
If I were to
Oh,
pick,
it's great.
if I were to pick, I'd actually pick Spartacus. Like, have you ever played Spartacus?
No.
Vinny, you
It's-
are picking.
Yeah, no, but if I to pick a different answer,
Your favorite.
like no, because what I picked is definitely my favorite, and I definitely think it's the GOAT. But no, but that aside, but Spartacus, like,
Yeah.
it's very much like that. There's a lot of politics of like, it's definitely way more complicated. It's more of like a standard complicated board game. I think it's more on the level of Settlers of Catan, but I don't even really want to bother explaining it. So there's loads of rounds and lots of things, but it's really, really, really fun. Like, I fully recommend
Yeah.
just if you're looking to get a good board game. Like, it's really,
That's
really
the thing
worth
that puts me off any board game is when you open up the instructions and it says, so you've got
It's
a
a
buying
book.
round and then a placing round, and then you
Yeah.
can go back to the buying round if no one votes
Yeah,
to
yeah,
replace
yeah.
and
Yeah.
replace it. And you're just like, oh god, I don't care.
Yeah,
But
it's
the thing
always
is,
the
once
initial
Yeah.
startup with those things. It's like the first like game you play is always like, I don't know what I'm doing. The second time you play, it's like, okay, now I understand. Now I can have
Yeah.
all the fun. And like I've had
It's
so
once
many
you
hype
break
moments
that
of my
barrier,
mates.
isn't it? Of like, what the fuck do I do?
Spartacus.
That it then gets really good, isn't it?
Yeah, Spartacus is
watched that?
fucking brilliant for that. really
Have
good.
you watched that Auntie Donna sketch with the board games where it's just like nonsense, and then at the end they're like, "See, now once you've played a round, now you get
Yeah,
it."
yeah,
And it's like,
It is like that though.
It's like you don't win because you've not got enough wood, but then I don't win because I'm not holding the truth stick while you're saying that you've lost. And then he's like, "Oh, see, now we've played 2 rounds. I kind of get it."
Yeah.
Anyway, there's nothing funnier than a YouTube video that the person who's repeating it can't quite remember.
And the people who are repeating it too, I've never seen it.
It's.
Exactly.
I think I've seen. I don't think I've seen that exact thing, but I've seen a very pretty much the exact same joke in another skit. So don't worry.
Smosh.
I know the joke. No, I can't remember the skit though.
Regardless, Vinny, I want to hear what you think is the greatest board game of all time.
See, when Mork talks about Risk, and it's great, and I love all the dice rolls and the gambling sort of thing, and there's definitely a lot of the social elements really cool. But yeah, it's a lot of just Risk. You actually don't know. It's all completely random, really. You can put it in your favor for sure, but at the end of the day, if you're unlucky, you're fucked. You're shit out of luck, and that's not really that fun, is it? Sometimes if you just don't get the right dice rolls, that's the problem with dice rolls.
That's life, mate.
Well, yeah, but I'm playing a game to escape life, mate.
Says the guy who picked Morrowind as the greatest RPG, mate.
I picked it because it's my favorite RPG. That's why, mate.
Right.
Go on, mate. That's fucking.
We're all good mates here.
Yeah, go on, mate.
Go on, mate.
But anyway, so my answer for Go RPG, my answer for Goat board game actually has no risk, no gambling. It's completely, purely just whatever you do, it's completely that's your move. That's what you've done. There's no randomness in it involved at all.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so good. But anyway, without further ado, chess. I picked chess, by the way. That's my answer.
Ooh.
Could we just end it there?
That's a great pick. That's a really good pick. But anyway,
I will discuss it. So, invented in India in the 6th century, starting out as the Game of Kings, it has evolved over the past 1,500 years, and in that time has captured an insanely wide audience all over the world. It's now considered one of the most popular games globally, and for one incredibly good reason. It takes 5 minutes to learn the basics, but an entire lifetime to master its complexities.
Oh, cringe. That was cringe.
I liked it, Vinny.
I swear that's a quote. Isn't that a quote from somebody? Does somebody say that?
No?
It's quite a common thing people say.
I'm sure someone has
Quick,
said
quick to learn how to master.
I love quick to learn hard to master things. I fucking love that shit. But anyway, how complex? You might be asking. According to the US Chess Federation, there are an estimated 169 octillion ways. That's 169 with 48 zeros at the end of it. Just to play the first 10 moves in a game of chess. 10 moves.
Damn.
In fact, just after a few moves in a game of chess, you probably have found yourself in a game that nobody in the history of humanity or ever has ever played before.
That's crazy. That reminds me of the stat. Sorry, just to bring it up. If you shuffle a 52 pack of cards,
yeah.
it is almost certain that that order of cards you have in your hand has never, ever existed ever before. You have just shuffled a unique order, and then you shuffle it again, it's unique. Again, it's unique. Crazy that.
Exactly.
When I read,
That's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
But despite its overwhelming possibilities, it still remains insanely popular, with an estimated 70% of all adults having played it at some point in their life, and about 605 million adults playing it regularly. It's probably maybe even more popular than football? Maybe? In terms of
605 million.
605 million?
No. Billions play football.
Billions? Really? Regularly?
I reckon I reckon 1 billion people kick a ball around.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know the actual stat. I thought it was like 300 million, but I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, well, you can play chess for dirt cheap. You can play it with like a dirt cheap set. You can even play it for free online. In fact, one of my favorite aspects about the game is just how widely varied your opponent's nationalities are on chess.com. I've played people from absolutely all over the world. Sometimes I don't even recognize the flags. Like, not just Europe, but like from South America, Asia, Oceania, even Africa. Like, you just play people from all over the place. Like, there's I mean, there's a couple countries like, India loves chess. Russia obviously loves chess, but I'll play someone from fucking like Bangladesh one day. The next day I'll play someone from fucking Sierra Leone. Like,
Yeah.
it's literally it's so varied. It's gone from the game of kings to the game of the people.
Ooh. Ooh.
He's banging out the quotes today.
Now, having been around for 1,500 years, you'd expect its heydays to be behind it by now, but you'd be wrong. Dead wrong. In fact, chess is actually more popular right now than it has ever been. Ever.
That's crazy.
Do you think Andrew Tate's got something to do with that? Because he's a very big advocate for chess.
Nope. All right, I'm cutting this. In fact, I'm gonna jot it down.
All his like little cronies are like, "Oh, mate, chess is so good at that. I'm Andrew Tate, mate. Top G, mate."
How dare you mention his name here?
I knew you'd hate that.
He's just a terrible human being. Anyway, I'll tell you why it's so popular now.
Okay.
Thanks to the Netflix show The Queen's Gambit, as well as the rise in chess content creation on YouTube and Twitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Never been a better time to get into chess than right now. In fact, this is in fact a complete side note. I didn't actually know how to go from this bit to the next bit. But anyway, in 1997, the IBM supercomputer Deep Blue took on world champion and potential GOAT player Garry Kasparov in what would be seen by many as the day chess would die. They say that because it marked the first time a computer beat humanity's greatest player.
Really?
Thus finally solving the ancient game of chess. But instead of making the game redundant, it did the exact opposite and basically just made it possible, finally, once and for all, to just figure out all the actual genuine best moves to play from any position at any point. Today, computers have only gotten better at figuring out chess, and now anyone, that's right, even you, Mork, can easily use these technologies to better understand their games and improve their own playing. Also, the much-known ELO system, which many different sports use as a way of ranking teams and players, was actually first invented for the game of chess. It was so good it spread to all other competitive ventures. And then you have, the top level of chess, which is still
Magnus
like
Carlsen and all them lot.
They're famous people. You know these people.
I know them.
Fischer, Bobby Fischer from years ago, Garry Kasparov. He was insane for years. Magnus Carlsen.
He was like
nowadays.
a prodigy. He played as a child, didn't he, Garry Kasparov?
They all did. They all played as children.
Pictures of him playing there's something like the World Masters where they have masters from every nation. There's a famous picture of him playing every World Master in order. So he does a move and he just walks up and he beats all of them as a child.
Did you ever see another sign? Did you ever see that Darren Brown thing where he played 10 Grandmasters against themselves? So he had a circle of chess Grandmasters, and then he would play he would have one game was just a normal game. He would just play a normal game of chess. But then in the next game, the Grandmaster would move and then he would move. And then he would use that Grandmaster's move. So let's say he did pawn to e6 or whatever. He'd use his move as his opening move on the next guy. Every single time he went round, he was using the move previously used by the Grandmaster against him, against the next Grandmaster. They were all just basically playing themselves. And he beat 5 out of 6 of them or something. It was crazy.
Wow.
Go and watch it. It's really, really, really fucking cool.
Shit, what was I going to say?
Chess is pretty good.
We know
Yeah.
about all those famous guys.
Yeah, sorry. You cut me off there, you bastard.
He is a bastard.
Yeah, what was I fucking going to say? Famous people. Oh, yeah, sorry. So this is, again, slightly irrelevant, but it's about chess. But I think, yeah, Bobby Fischer might have been the youngest world champion of all time. I think he was world champion at like 16 or something, 17. It's outrageous.
You sure Magnus hasn't beaten that? I think he was very young.
Maybe he has. I'm not sure. I could have sworn Bobby Fischer was, but I know when Garry Kasparov was the best player in the world still in like the 90s or 2000s or whatever, he actually played a 13-year-old Magnus Carlsen, and they drew because Magnus Carlsen was that fucking good at chess.
Damn. God
Magnus
damn.
Carlsen
Is he the best ever? Do you think he's the GOAT?
I think he
Never
probably
been.
is, yeah.
Also, chess is a weird one because of that yellow system. It's so metrically decided who's the best, and Magnus Carlsen is so much better than anyone even close to him. Like he's like, what? Isn't he like 2,500? He's like his rating's like 2,500 points.
It's like 2.6, 2.7k maybe, 2.8.
Yeah,
maybe 2.8.
and
I
like
think 2.8.
The closest people behind him are like maybe 400 points behind. Like it's not even close.
Oh,
It's
right,
That's
like
not true at all.
it's just.
That's
Is
not
it
true.
not?
That's not true at
Oh
all.
really?
They're like they're close, but they're not like that. Hang on, I'm just gonna look it up because I've seen
I
loads
thought
of
he
different.
was like leaps and bounds ahead.
Hang on, let me just look it up because there's different ELO systems. Like there's the chess.com ELO system, which is different from the official like FIDE ELO system, which is like the
Yeah.
official one.
This is getting too complicated. Like, I think we
Oh
should
no!
just crown
Oh yeah,
this
no,
as
you're
the GOAT.
totally right. So it's Magnus is 2.835, and then
Hikaru is
Hikaru
2.787.
yeah.
That's
So
still
it's
like
still
that's
100 points.
that's still like a huge gap because once you start like getting higher and higher, it's like exponential. Like getting 5 points ahead is like you're like another
Yeah.
level almost.
Insane.
Like,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and also if you look at how close, so it goes 2.835, and then Hikaru is 2.787, and then it's 2.782, 2.780, 2.779. Like it's
so
still
100 there is pretty big.
It's a massive leap
Yeah.
comparatively. I just got my numbers a bit wrong, but yeah, it
Yeah.
is a big leap. He's
Yeah, yeah,
significantly better than his
and that's why I
opposition.
think Magnus Carlsen is the GOAT chess player.
But no, Vinny,
no,
you
chess.
wrapped up on chess.
I mean, my conclusion is, come on, guys, it's chess. Like, come off it. How is it not the greatest sport game ever? Like, I would even say it may be the best game ever. Like in general,
Yeah.
like maybe. To be honest, it's so good.
I
Have
would say
you played Modern Warfare 2, mate?
no, but that's an art form. No, but no, like seriously, if I'm weighing up the two, it's difficult because I love chess, and I think like let's just get it out there early doors. Like chess, it is the GOAT board game. I can't like. There's not much we can do about that.
Fucking bullshit, mate.
But there's a lot I like more about Risk. Like if I'm coming about what I like there are aspects of the chess scene that I find quite difficult. I come and go with chess. I really heavily dislike the kind of perpetuated idea, and it isn't just an idea because it is kind of true, that your ability to play chess is so inextricably linked with your like deemed intelligence. I find that really frustrating and annoying, and like people
It
like
seems
Andy,
snobby.
well, not snobby, it's just hard. Like it's hard to want to play a game that if you lose, the person who's beaten you is like statistically more clever than you. Like it's
That's
a
not true,
difficult
though.
like it's not
I would say
true.
that's not true.
That's not true at all. But
It's like
there's this
memory,
like
really, or just learning how to play chess. Like if you just know how to play chess, you'll be better than someone who doesn't know how to play chess.
Yeah.
Like that's just
But
how.
it's
Oh, do you
not
mean there's
true.
like society tells you they're cleverer than you?
Yeah,
exactly,
A
like,
lot of
there's
people
this, like,
say
there's this-
Yeah.
it's not true.
there's this
though.
idea that like the great chess players are like the most intelligent people, and that's an idea that's perpetuated by like fucking Andrew Tate and Piers Morgan playing chess on his show and being like, oh, it's a man's battle of wit and intelligence, and it's like I fucking despise this, but I almost don't want to hold that against. Yeah, but exactly. But that doesn't mean anything. But yet, like, you're kind of getting a bit of a boner about it because it's
I'm
like,
not.
oh, he did beat him though. Like that's the
No,
thing.
I
Like,
just love that two complete cunts are doing something that is competing against each other.
like I like chess. I kind of love chess. I sporadically will play chess on my phone for like 2 weeks straight and then not play it again because I hate how bad I am. But like, I think it is the greatest board game of all time.
What about Risk? Do you not love Risk?
I love Risk. I should talk about
the
why I
little
love
men.
Risk.
They've got little men.
I love
like,
Risk. I like the way that
armies
Risk
and
is
shit,
like.
mate.
No one's played enough Risk for there to be like Risk meta. Like when you like, if two people come to play Risk, there's a pretty good chance they've both played about as much Risk as each other. Like you're very unlikely to be like, do you want to game of Risk? And then you realise that this guy's played Risk every day high for the last 6 years, but you've not played Risk since you were 6, and now you're going to be shit. Like everyone's kind of just played like you'd be like, yeah. Like I feel like I've played quite a lot of Risk. I reckon I've probably played less than 10 games of Risk in my lifetime.
Yeah,
like,
you probably have to read the rule book again, but you wouldn't have to read the chess rule book again, would you?
No, like whereas like chess, it's like everyone fucking plays chess. It's but chess is the greatest board game. Like it just is. It's one of those. It's one of those. In the same way that Magnus is the best chess player, chess is the best board game. Like you just can't. Like it's such a clear and obvious winner. I'm sorry,
I thought I would give it a go to try and beat it with Risk, but never mind. But, fair enough. Chess is the go. I've got a handcrafted Alice in Wonderland chess set under my bed that's worth a fucking fortune. So what can I say?
I've actually got a handcrafted Risk set though. So
nice.
It's weird. No, I'm joking.
That's good. Why'd you joke about
that? There's this horrible thing, which is that I'm like about 5 seconds behind because I've got quite bad internet here. And so I make a joke, and then there's this horrendous pause where I can't tell if it's funny or not. And now you laugh. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny.
But Vinny, I should probably hand over to you now for our final segment of this show.
Yeah.
The greatest
now that he's
live
undefeated
TV
on this grab bag.
But a fantastic live TV fail would be if you hadn't prepared for it.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, I did prepare. Sorry. Yeah, I was about to say I'm actually going to pick. I don't care what you guys say. I'm actually going to pick my own answer. So I win 3 for 3. I'm going to pick just me hosting it. I've won.
Cheeky bastard.
But right, okay. So we all love watching people fail. It's such a human thing that we've all experienced. And we get such great satisfaction out just watching people go through the exact same thing that we did. But what's more incredible is when you watch one of these failures on live TV and you know it's happening right now.
When I told Luce that we were doing this, we literally watched live TV fails on YouTube for like 3 hours. It was so fun. Like it's just fucking delicious. You're just like,
yeah. Whether it's a news anchor accidentally saying fuck on national TV, or a Boeing 767 flying directly into the World Trade Center, we all love a good live TV fail.
You cunt.
Oh no. Write that down.
Nah, that stays. That's too good of a joke. That's too good of a joke to not stay.
I can't say.
Mate, we literally had as a fucking cold edit, like, I'm gonna pick 9/11 as a live TV fail.
Oh yeah, sure.
Of course it's fucking staying.
Okay, that can stay. That's
it stays.
It stays.
I mean, I want it to stay. I think it's fucking hilarious, but
whether it's a news anchor accidentally saying fuck on national TV, or someone completely blundering their lines live on air, we all love a good live TV fail. But what is the greatest of them all?
I'm going to go first.
It's up for Mork and Sebek to let me know. And I'm going to let Sebek go first.
oh,
Right, look. Here's the thing. There's such a smorgasbord of delicious live TV fails out there. But there was just, as soon as we said it, I knew what I was picking. I have analysed and overanalyzed this clip for so long, and I just think it's perfect. I think it's the perfect live TV fail, right? So, some context. The clip I'm about to discuss is a minute long, but it's an absolutely excruciating minute.
Should you send it to us just in case we haven't watched it before?
Oh no, you definitely will. And also, I'm going to blow by blow it. That's a big part of my script is this blow by blow account. So you'll know what it is. So the clip I'm about to discuss features a guy called Mike Graham, who's a British radio host known for being a shock jock, which is a shocking disc jockey, or someone who likes to say inflammatory remarks to cause controversy. And it'll be no surprise that he's gone from working on places like Radio 5 Live to being a part of the Jeremy Vine show, where they're like, hey, how do we feel about immigrants? Let's just have people ring in. I think they should all fucking drown in the sea. And then everyone's like, and it just causes controversy. He's one of those guys.
Yeah, right.
And it will be no shock that he now works for Talk Radio TV, which is a part of the same group as Talk TV and The Sun, which is owned by
a bunch of cunts.
What's it called now? I think it's called News Britain. They've changed it a million times. It used to be News International, and then they got done for phone hacking, and then they changed the name. It's the same exact group. They're the same cunts. Don't believe them. It's still Rebecca Brooks. It's still fucking
Rupert Murdoch. Is it
Rupert Murdoch? Yeah, it's still all those cunts. Anyway, look. He's hosting an episode of Talk Radio TV, which is it is a TV show. I don't know why it's called Talk Radio TV. Who the fuck knows?
Okay.
But anyway, on the episode in question, it was broadcast in 2021, and it featured Mike discussing the various antics of the protest group Insulate Britain. Now, I think we've all come across Insulate Britain. Nope. They're always up to... They're just those guys that they're very similar to Just Stop Oil, but they care about insulating houses.
Yeah.
Well, they don't like houses.
No, they love insulating. They think we should all insulate our houses, and
I think we should.
Yeah, and I definitely lay on a train line for that. But
yeah, I definitely jump in front of a car on the M25 for that. Yeah,
they do that to fucking insulate houses. What?
Yeah. Anyway, so look, they get a spokesman on for Insulate Britain, and he's called Cameron Ford, and Cameron is a live wire, mate. He's so well prepared. And look, I'm just going to give you a blow-by-blow of the call. So the call goes like this. Cameron starts the conversation with, "Morning, Mike. It's pretty chill. He's. You think he'd be on the aggressive. He's here from Insulate Britain, but he's just, morning, Mike." And Mike responds with, "Oh, hello." Like he's a bit too good for him. He's like, "Oh, hello." And then tries to catch him off guard early doors by saying, "What are you glued to, Cameron?" Which is a relatively clever jibe on the fact that climate activists have a tendency to glue themselves to things.
Yeah.
However, Mike's overcommitted to the attack, and he's left himself weak at the back because Cameron replies with immediately, "Just your screen, unfortunately."
Oh.
Bang. It's 1-0 Cameron Ford straight off the bat, right? Mike then tries to push back off kickoff with another offensive by saying, "What do you do for a living?" So he's not going for him, but he's passing it around a little bit, trying to gain some possession in the opposition half. Trying to engage him so that he maybe slips up. But Cameron just absorbs the pressure deep into his own half, and he says, "I'm a carpenter." Just lets Mike keep the ball. "I'm a carpenter, Mike. What are you going to do with that?" Mark then further commits to the attack, pushes deep into the penalty area, and he says, "Ah, carpenter. And how safe is that for the climate?" Now, it's hardly cutting, but Cameron has to push back a little bit. Just to, it's pushing a little bit close. "Oh, you're a carpenter. How safe is it?" It's a good question. There's something to discuss
down
there.
Trees. Yeah.
Yeah. So Cameron comes back with, "Well, I work with timber, which is a much more sustainable building material as opposed to concrete." And I think that alone shows that he started to respect Mike a little bit. The attack must be freaking him out a bit because he's not just coming back with clever jibes. He's actually had to explain himself a bit. But this goes a lot better than Cameron's expecting because he ends up back in Mike's half. And Mike then cuts Cameron off as he was about to explain that he works maintaining old houses rather than building new ones. And he says, "Well, you work with trees that have been cut down then, don't you?" I'm just going to say that again. "Well, you work with trees that have been cut down then, don't you?" And it's an interesting point. And Mike has managed to push Cameron back into his own half. He is cutting down trees. How can that be good for the planet? And And Cameron just absorbs the pressure again. You know, he's pressing high, but Cameron's just letting him come to him. And he says, well, it's a sustainable business practice, Mike. No, it's a sustainable building practice, Mike. And Mike thinks he's got Cameron on the ropes here. And he commits forward. He throws everyone. The wing backs have come up. They've got like just Harry Maguire's holding the fort, right? And he says, well, how is that sustainable if you're killing trees? Cameron seizes the ball because it's regenerative. You can go trees. You can grow trees. Mike, suddenly, he's back in his own half and he starts to choke. He loses his nerve. He stumbles over his own words and he replies, right, well, you can grow all sorts of things, can't you? Cameron turns him into his penalty area and fires a shot on goal. He says, we can't grow concrete. Now, here's the thing. It's not a savage shot. It's not firing into the back of the net. That's savable, you know? Cameron, you know, Ryan could say something. If the keeper's got good reflexes, he can tip that over the bar. He could say, well, you know, concrete lasts a lot longer than wood, so maybe it's not sustainable, but you're going to cut down less trees in the long term or something like that.
Yeah.
But the ball, he's fired it straight at the keeper, but the keeper fumbles it, and Mike just turns around and goes, yes, you can. And of course, you can't grow concrete. It's 2-0 to Cameron. Now, Cameron, at this point, he doesn't even respond. He literally just stops talking and lets Mike just stew in his own failure. Mike then accepts defeat, calls the interview to a close after less than a minute with a simple, see you, Cameron, cheerio, and then ends the segment by saying, that was Cameron. He grows trees, then cuts them down and makes things from them. Brilliant. Marvellous. I don't think I ever want to talk to any of those people again. So there's something weird about possibly the oldest profession in existence of cutting down trees and making things out of them. Like, what do you mean, those people? Carpenters? Like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Right? Now, you might think it's all over. That's the end of the match. But fucking Mike, he makes a mistake that many a player's made, many a manager. He tries to rescue it in the post-match interview. He stays on air and then enters Jeremy Vine's show.
Oh, no.
And it gets brought up because it's already going viral. And he tries to recover it by saying that what he was referring to was the fact that concrete grows as it sets.
What?
That's not good enough. That's
absolute bollocks.
Is that what you mean? Like, what do you mean? What?
Yeah, like it expands when it sets.
Yeah.
That's not.
But
That's
not like
good.
fucking exponentially.
It doesn't grow out. Like, doesn't grow. It doesn't actually grow.
It doesn't grow, like barely. It might just go. It doesn't even really expand.
That's like Fergie making them change their shirts at half time. That's appalling.
Because they
You
can
can't
see
do
each
that.
other, yeah.
That's awful. That's a terrible excuse. And that, in my opinion, is the biggest live TV fail of all time. It's awful. It's hard to watch. And Cameron, he's so quick. He's so ready. It's like the perfect, he couldn't have got it better if he tried. The only time he slips is where, in the silence, you see him smirk a little bit.
Yeah.
And you can kind of tell that he's laughing at it. But if he's trying to hold it, you can tell he's trying to hold his face still and just look like really blank. But he starts to like shake his head and laugh a little bit. That's the only slip in his performance. And even that, who can fault him? He's 2-0 up. You know, it's unbelievable. He's entered their sphere. He's gone on Talk Radio TV. That's like fucking going to Anfield and scoring 2-0 at the Kop and then them calling it an end at half time because you've shit them up so badly. It's unbelievable.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh my god, yeah, that is a legendary clip. I actually
It's the
love
silence.
it so
It's
much.
the way he doesn't even respond. He's just like,
He's like, yeah,
I'm just gonna let this stew. I'm gonna let you think about what you just said.
yeah, he just
You
makes
just
a
said
really
you can grow concrete.
the boldest
He's
claim
always like-
ever, and he's just silence. Like, I'm not responding to that.
Yeah.
Let's all just take a minute and think about what you just said.
What you just said.
And then he's just like, Goodbye, Cameron. Cheerio. It's just
It's the bit at the end.
It is
I don't
good.
want to speak to any of those people ever again.
Ever again. Yeah.
What people, man? Just what people?
That is actually such
Brilliant.
a legendary clip. I'm a big fan of that. That's a great pick. Thank you very much.
That is a good
Cedric.
pick. Yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah, other than what I've just said, I don't have anything else to say about it other than thumbs up. So far, that is the greatest live TV fail of all time.
Or is it?
Or is it? Yeah. Can you? Do you have any words to say to defend that, Morkel?
I have many words all about my pick.
Go ahead.
Well, that's good news.
Does anyone remember that show?
Yeah.
Well,
we got.
do you remember that?
We got a podcast.
Do you remember that show,
episode.
World's Most Amazing Videos?
Yeah.
Remember that show, World's Most Amazing Videos? It was like YouTube before YouTube. Like you just tune in and there's like
Was
loads
it
of
like-
random clips and
Was
shit.
it just like fails of like people like falling down?
It was all just like mad shit and stuff on it. It was like, oh look, oh one time a hurricane stormed through Texas, you won't believe it, and it would show like the same like 2-second clip, and then it'll like do a cut, and it'll be like,
slow mo.
after the break, find out what happened to Texas, and it'll like cut to the same clip. And it's like, you will not believe what happened when this hurricane strikes, and it's like cut
Yeah,
again.
I
It's like
remember that.
fucking show me the fucking hurricane. Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? Anyway.
Yeah.
TV fails. You've got your classics. Newsreader wants to cut to reporter. They don't cut. And then newsreader awkwardly shuffles papers. Lol. News reporter is reporting weather in a storm. Umbrella gets blown away. Lol. Anything to do with animals being the silly buggers that they are. Lol. Someone falls over on TV. Lol. You get my drift,
Oh,
right?
mate, no, come on.
TV
mate.
fails are funny, but they're kind of like, funny. You don't really remember them that much. There's not that many iconic ones that get remembered and memed forever.
There's a few, but I know what you mean. There's so
There's a
many,
few.
and they're all very similar.
That's what I'm saying.
That they blend
The
very-
moment
together.
you said someone falling over, I thought of that time. Have you seen that one where there's the runners in the snow, and they're like, it's actually perfect for running because it compacts under your feet, and then she runs off and just stacks it and smacks the back of her head. That's a
No, I
great
haven't
clip.
seen that. but
Yeah,
that
we
sounds
don't know
funny.
what you're talking about because the market of TV fails is so saturated that it's just something funny. Lol. You may have seen it, you may not, but there's a billion clips.
Fairly cheap.
But then the other
laughs.
day, they're cheap laughs. But the other day, I was taking a shit, and I don't know why. For some reason, I remembered which
9/11.
one was the most iconic. I was like, I remember the most iconic TV fail. I've got my answer because it took me ages to think of an answer, and it's one of the most memorable live TV moments of all time. But first, let me introduce you to somebody. A man and a legend by the name of Chris Kamara. He was a professional football player in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, boy.
He played for a ton of teams. He made the most amount of appearances for Brentford, but he's most
on, you
famous. He's most famous. This is before anybody fucking knew who they were, mate. But he's most famous for his live TV punditry.
Hmm.
And one day, when he was working for Sky, they had a bright idea. They were like, we always report about the games from the studio, but what if we had someone at the ground that we could cut to and just talk random stuff? So they were like, let's send Cammy to the stadium and we'll cut to him and he'll tell us live updates about the game from the game. And yes, Chris Kamara was the first person to do this. It was their idea, and he was the first. Yep, he was the first reporter to cut to the stadium
In England,
do it,
but
and-
surely not in the world.
in England. I don't know about the
Yeah.
world, definitely
Yeah.
in England. And yeah, they did it. It was a bit shit at first, but they worked out all the stuff. And it became a staple, and it's iconic, and it happens everywhere now. Like it's the thing that you do when you report live sports.
Yeah.
And obviously, over the years, Cammy's been doing this a long time. He's had a few blunders.
Mm-hmm.
He messes up some names. You know, you might miss a goal. You know, they cut to him and he hasn't seen the goal because they're like a little bit behind the delay. And he's got really funny observations as well. Like, he's a wordsmith. So one time he said that the Tottenham players were fighting like beavers when they were having their North London derby against Arsenal, which is classic and hilarious. But he's also got great moments as well. The phrase "unbelievable, Jeff" was born through Chris Kamara's mouth.
Iconic.
And he would actually only spit it a few times. Like, he would say, like, they would cut to him, they'd be like, "Chris Kamara, what's going on? Arsenal have gone 2-0 up." And he'd say, "Unbelievable. What a goal by Henry." But the actual "unbelievable, Jeff" is like twice he said it, right? But it became an absolute iconic. It became an absolute icon. But the most iconic and the greatest TV fail of all time came on the 3rd of April 2010 when Portsmouth were playing Blackburn. During the match, Jeff Selling asks Cammy, "We're off to Fratton Park where there's been a red card, but who's it for, Chris Kamara?" And this is where Cammy says the genuinely iconic and infamous, "I don't know, Jeff, has there?"
I love it.
I must have missed that. The studio is fucking bedlam. What has he just said? He doesn't know what's going on, so they ask him again, "Cammy, what's going on? There's been a sending off." "I don't know, Jeff." He just doesn't know. He doesn't know who's been sent off. Just that phrase. I don't know. I don't know. It's just so funny. He has got no idea who's been sent off. It is just incredible scenes. You can even hear like the camera woman laughing. The producers are laughing. Everybody's going mental. How is he's there? What do you mean? I don't know. That is not a response to a question live on television. It's absolutely the best blunder on live television ever. Yes, it might not be so ha-ha funny as a news reporter reporting about cows and it accidentally nibbles her shirt, lol. No, it's more simple than that. He just simply doesn't know, but it's become a fucking icon. The phrase of "I don't know, Jeff" will go down in history forever. It will be meme forever. Everybody knows it. Even if you don't know fuck all about football, you will know the phrase "unbelievable, Jeff" or "I don't know, Jeff." It's easily the GOAT because of the longevity that it has. And I found back-to-back Sports Bible articles with "on this day 10 years ago, Chris Kamara said this." And then I found "on this day 11 years ago, Chris Kamara said this." So they know what's up. They know it's so iconic. Every year, we got to do it. On this day 68 years ago, they'll be doing in like, I don't know, 120 years, whatever it works out to be. And we're still talking about it right now. And lastly, quick shout out to Cammy because he's an absolute fucking legend. I love him. And he came out last year to talk about his struggles with speech apraxia. So it slows his speech down and he slurs his words a lot. And he was forced to step down from Sky Sports, which is heartbreaking because Cammy's a fucking legend. He's given us the iconic moment. So big up Cammy. And "I don't know, Jeff" is the GOAT live TV fail of all time.
You missed out the best part. You missed out the best part where he's like, "Oh yeah, I saw him like leave the pitch. I thought he was getting subbed off or something." I thought he was being
substituted.
Yeah.
It's
like, no, you didn't want to fucking sending off.
I didn't want to transcript the whole entire thing, so I just thought I'd just do the "I don't know, Jeff" bit. But he thinks that he's been substituted. He's like, "But so and so's been sent off." He's like, "Oh yeah, I saw him going down the tunnel. I thought he'd been subbed off."
Also, I never knew this, but I listened to him on probably Ben Foster's podcast, but it might have been Jack Mate's one, maybe. But he went for a meeting about like getting fired for that. Like it was like really like it was quite bad. And then it went like really viral and everyone was saying it and everyone kind of thought it was really funny. And they like, it wasn't that he was going to get fired, but they like his contract was up or something like that. So like they were kind of just going to let him go.
Because you're kind of like not really in it, yeah.
But then because of that, his contract like got renewed and he was like became like a staple on Sky Sports and yeah, incredible. I love Cammy. Also, when he came out and said that he because he wasn't forced to. He stepped down voluntarily. Like he there was no pressure.
Forced him. He felt forced to. He said he forced himself to step down because of his thing.
But then, like, the response from football fans for that was incredible. Like, there was banners of every stadium saying like, "You're unbelievable, Cammy. We fucking love you," and all this stuff.
Yeah,
so
we love him.
Nah, he's a great guy. And what a moment! What a moment! I just realised I'm not hosting. Sorry.
You could say it was unbelievable, Jeff.
Back to the studio. No, but that genuinely is, like, in terms of like English broadcasting, like football broadcasting for sure, but English broadcasting, I feel like even just in England, I think it's super iconic. Like, it's just so fucking.
That's what I mean.
funny.
It's just
that,
with live TV fails, it's so much more iconic than just like, haha, look, this news reporter said twat. It's like it's iconic.
It's just so incredible because, like, most games, the vast majority of games, you'll see a goal and, like, but like red cards are like they're pretty uncommon. They're a little bit on the rare side. They're a little bit on the rare side. So
one of the most uncommon occurrences in a normal football game.
Yeah, exactly. So to just completely miss that. and have your pants completely pulled down on live TV, and it's literally your job. Your
only job is to watch it. It's
and
just
everyone
your job
sees
is to
your
watch
cock,
it.
Fucking waving in the wind.
It's also just like he's got one job: is watch the game.
Yeah.
Like, what else is he doing?
The most important part of the game, he's just blinked for like 30 seconds straight, and it just completely went past him. Oh god, it's so good. So, like, it's almost difficult to compare the two because I feel like the first clip that Sebek was talking about, like, it's quite recent, isn't it? Like, how recent are we talking?
2021.
Yeah, so it hasn't
2 years.
So it hasn't. It's not as like, at least for English people, I don't think it's as like iconic because it hasn't had the years to like cement itself as like a legendary status. But saying that, like, we're trying to decide what the greatest of all time is, and not the greatest English thing of all time is. And so I don't know if, like, you know, it's super iconic for English people, but like, I don't know, like, if fucking Spanish people know about it. I don't fucking know. Probably they don't at all. They probably have something on their side that's like equally iconic for them, and they're like, oh, surely everyone knows about this, and it's a very similar situation, whatever. But we don't know. We don't fucking know at all because we're laughing at Cammy. He's a national hero, but he's not an international hero. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what?
So what I'm saying is it's really difficult to pick up from these two is what I'm saying.
Right.
So, but like going back to your clip, Sebek, I just think it's so fucking unbelievably funny that this guy got this other guy on and he's like, right, I'm prime and ready. It's going to be a big gotcha moment. I'm going to make him look like a massive arsehole on TV. He's going to fucking piss his pants on live TV. Only for him to fucking piss his pants on live TV.
It's the ultimate reversal. It's the ultimate reversal.
Very, very quickly. It's just unbelievable, Jeff.
Exactly. That's why you've got to crown Cammy.
Yeah, but unbelievable Jeff isn't the moment they were talking about today. That's just like a great line that he said. So, with a heavy heart, I'm afraid. To be honest, it sort of even more so boils down to what I just find funnier. And I kind of just, even though like I don't know Jeff is iconic and I've seen it a trillion times, the fucking cement grows is so funny. Everything about that is so fucking outrageously funny. And like he gets his comeuppance so quickly. Like it's like
it takes place over less than a minute. That whole thing is a minute long from start to finish.
It is just a train crash.
It's unreal. And also like what's incredible is like it's such a like picture of his personality because he is contrarian before he even knows what he's like arguing against. Like, you can't go concrete. Yes, you can. Like, he hasn't even thought. He's just like it's just like a reflex to just be like, yes, you can.
and then you
And
just let that
silence.
like the bad fart it is, just let it go. It's like, ooh, what's that? So yeah, I with a heavy heart, I will be crowning the "you can grow cement" moment as the greatest live TV fail. But that's
Right.
not to say like I fucking love the Cammy moment. That it's a part of English TV history for sure. For absolutely, for certainty. Like both great picks.
I feel like you're gonna reverse this and be like, "Ha! Live TV fail. It really is. I don't know, Jeff."
Wait, I read the wrong cue card. Do you remember, actually, yeah. Do you remember when who's that dude with the big bushy beard?
Steve Harvey.
Yeah, that fucking idiot read the wrong name for that.
Oh,
that
that
would have
beauty
been a
pageant
great
winner.
pick actually as
Yeah.
well, because that was
Damn it.
Oh my god!
beyond cringe.
We didn't do when fucking Will Smith punched Chris Rock. We didn't
That's
even
not a
mention that.
TV fail. That's like a unbelievable moment.
Yeah, that's not really a fail. 'Cause no one
Or
fails.
Madonna's cape getting snagged at the Brit Awards and her tumbling down the stairs was a pretty big fail too.
That happened.
Yeah, in like 2016, I reckon,
Wow.
on live TV. Well, but it doesn't matter because we
Brutal.
crowned Concrete Can't Grow, so all these other ones must be shit. That's the name of the
Very
game,
true.
innit? That's
They're
the name
all
of Go.
fucking shit. No second place
Yeah.
here.
Um,
But
There are
anyway,
only winners and the losers.
who's concluding this shit show?
I'll conclude it.
Vinny
I'll
can.
conclude it. So anyway, that was the fourth grab bag special, the revenge or the return, whatever the fuck we decide to call it. I think it was absolutely so fun to record. What do you boys think?
Yes.
Great time.
Yeah, that
Great.
was.
Thanks, mate.
I can't believe I lost everything.
I can't believe I won everything.
No,
But yeah, that was good fun. I'm not sure what we're doing next episode. We don't know. We'll never know until like a day before. That's how we roll in this industry.
You'll know. You'll know. We don't know.
You'll know when it comes out at some point, hopefully. But anyway, yeah, if you like that, please give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast Music.
Seb's pretending to be frozen. TV failure, so I can see him moving.
Yeah, give us a comment. Maybe a
Say
subscribe.
really good, lads.
Give us a thumbs up.
Also, thanks to the fan who gave me this goats bracelet.
Oh, there's a
Thanks,
fan?
mate.
Oh
We
yeah.
have fans?
Oh yeah.
What? What?
Mailed.
Nah,
It arrived
Jen.
at my house.
It was just Jen.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It arrived at my house a few days ago. It had Sebek Lark's name written on it, and it had a big like kissed imprint of some lipstick.
Oh,
It was a
I had
vagina
that in
print.
With lipstick.
Well, that's,
Lipstick on a
reckons.
vagina.
there's a bracelet in there with goats on.
Like a potato print. Ooh, she's got big flaps.
That's a good industry. You know, like that was it Gwyneth Paltrow did those candles that like smell like a minge?
What?
You don't know about that?
No.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
That's just a like, goat fucking fail. Like, what the fuck is that?
That's true. She sells candles that smell like a minge. But
Do they
another
really?
good thing could be like, yeah, I don't know. I've never smelled a
Can we
minge.
test it out?
But fanny prints, that could be a good industry for that kind of thing.
I think you can already
Celebrity
get a
fanny
plaster
prints.
cast of your vagina.
Yeah, but just like a print. Just dip it in some ink and just print it.
Dip in some oil.
You could do cock prints too.
Just,
Little cock and balls. Just slap it on. Like a little
Yeah.
production
Right, anyway.
line. Slap the ink, slap the paper, slap the ink, slap.
Yeah, when you do it, mate, it's like,
Right.
oh, is that a pin? Did they use a pin for that? Anyway.
Oh.
But your balls are weirdly big, so it's a very disproportionate. Giant balls with a tiny
Look.
cock.
Just because I'm the one here with the biggest cock,
Should we delete all this?
Yeah,
Video
right.
listeners there.
I am way too hungry for us to keep going on with this bit.
Okay, yeah, sorry. So, without further ado, love you, bye.
Love you, goodbye.
Let's see how long. Let's see if I can make Seb starve to death. Love you, bye.
That would be a good idea.